What if I told you that one of our star players might be heading to free agency? The San Francisco 49ers are facing some tough decisions this offseason, and the future of our beloved defense hangs in the balance. Will we keep the powerhouse linebacker who's been the heart of our team? Or will we part ways with a cornerback who has seen both the highs and lows this season? Stick around as we dive into the potential moves that could reshape our roster and impact our playoff hopes. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button to stay updated on all things 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers are facing a pivotal offseason, and as a passionate fan, I can't help but feel the weight of these decisions on our future. With Brock Purdy's contract extension looming, the team must also decide the fate of key free agents like Dre Greenlaw, Charvarius Ward, and Talanoa Hufanga. Who stays and who goes? That's the million-dollar question. Let's start with Dre Greenlaw. I know some of you might be thinking I'm out of my mind for suggesting we even consider letting him go, but hear me out. Greenlaw has proven his worth on the field and is an invaluable leader in the locker room. His impact on our linebacking core and overall defense is undeniable. However, we can't ignore the elephant in the room, his health. At 28, he's recovering from a severe Achilles injury, and there's a real possibility he may never regain his pre-injury form. If he's only operating at 80%, he's still a force. But what if he continues to deteriorate? Are we prepared to pay top dollar for a linebacker over 30 who might not be at his peak? That's a risky move, one that could hinder our playoff aspirations. But even with these concerns, I believe losing Greenlaw would be a significant blow to our defense and our locker room culture. He's a glue guy, and without him, our defense could suffer. Now let's talk about Charvarius Ward. After a tough season, he might be the most likely candidate to be let go. But let's not forget his excellent performance last year when he ranked third among all cornerbacks, according to PFF. This past season was undeniably affected by personal tragedies, which is a valid reason for a dip in performance. I genuinely believe he can bounce back to his former self. Imagine a daunting cornerback duo of Ward and Diomedor Lenoir. Now that's a matchup nightmare for opposing wide receivers. At 29, Ward is the oldest of the three, but he has a solid track record of health. We can't overlook the fact that, at his best, he's among the top cornerbacks in the league. Letting him go would be a gamble I'm not sure we can afford. Then there's Talanoa Hufanga, who I believe is the best safety on the team. He's a fierce hitter, can cover ground quickly, and while he has some injury history, his potential is through the roof. Hufanga embodies the tenacity of Fred Warner and fits our defensive scheme perfectly. However, with Malik Mustafa starting to shine, it raises the question, could we see Hufanga being the odd man out? I wouldn't be surprised if the team looks to the draft for a potential replacement to save some cap space. But do the 49ers really want to let go of a player with Hufanga's skill set? I'm torn here. He's crucial to our defensive identity. As we look ahead, these choices are not easy for John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. I genuinely believe Hufanga might be the one to hit free agency, but a part of me wonders if they'll decide to part ways with Ward instead. It's a tough call, and I hope they make the right decision for the team's future. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think the 49ers are making the right choices with these free agents? I'm honestly divided on what the best path forward is. Your opinions matter, so drop them in the comments below. What are your expectations for this offseason? What frustrates you about our current situation? Let's get a conversation going. I want to dive into some critical updates regarding our star wide receiver, Brandon Aiyuk. As you may know, Aiyuk suffered a devastating ACL and MCL tearback on October 20th, and it's been a tough road since then. But there's some encouraging news coming from head coach Kyle Shanahan. Shanahan recently provided an update on Aiyuk's recovery, and it sounds like he's putting in serious work. He mentioned that Aiyuk has been grinding through the rehabilitation process. It's reassuring to know that he was seen at the 49ers facilities, showing his commitment to bounce back stronger, Shanahan noted. Yes, he's working really hard at it, which speaks volumes about Aiyuk's determination and the support he's receiving from the rehab team. Now, let's talk about the specifics. Aiyuk underwent surgery in Los Angeles to repair the damage to his knee, and the initial phase of his rehabilitation took place in Southern California. Shanahan shared that Aiyuk has been back at the facility for about a month, diligently working on his recovery. This is promising because it indicates that he's on the right track, even though it's a long process ahead. As fans, it's natural for us to be optimistic. Aiyuk was a key target for Brock Purdy last season, and his connection with the quarterback is something that can't be understated. The chemistry they built is vital for our offensive strategy moving forward. If Aiyuk can make a strong recovery and get back on the field in time for the next season, it could significantly enhance our chances of making a deep playoff run. But here's where it gets a bit tricky. What if he's not quite ready? We've seen athletes rush back from injuries and struggle to regain their form. You have to wonder, is it worth pushing him too hard too soon? I mean, we all want to see Aiyuk back making those spectacular catches, but what's more important is his long-term health and performance. You believe that this was the best decision? I, personally, am a bit torn on that. The impact of this situation on our roster is substantial. If Aiyuk can return to his pre-injury form, we could have one of the most dynamic receiving corps in the league. On the flip side, if we have to rely on other players, or if Aiyuk takes longer to recover, it could change the dynamics of our offense. It's nerve-wracking to think about, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. How do you feel about the depth of our receiving options if Aiyuk isn't available right away? The emotions surrounding Aiyuk's recovery are palpable. The idea of him back on the field, making plays and contributing to our success, is something that every fan is eagerly anticipating. But we must also remember to be patient and supportive. The last thing we want is for him to feel rushed or pressured during his recovery. And you, what do you think? I want to hear your opinions down below. How confident are you about Aiyuk's return, and what do you think this means for the team moving forward? Your insights are valuable, and this is definitely a topic worth discussing. As we look ahead, let's keep our fingers crossed for Brandon Aiyuk's recovery. We're all rooting for him, and I can't wait to see him back in action, showcasing his skills once again. Remember, if you want to keep up with all the latest updates on the 49ers, make sure to hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to activate the notification bell so you won't miss any essential news about our beloved team. Let's rally together as we support Aiyuk on his journey to recovery and gear up for what promises to be an exciting season ahead.